Hello, everyone, and welcome to the daily Fumble Sports Betting Show. Appreciate you all joining us. We are live on TikTok Live, YouTube, and on Instagram Live. So, for all of you watching, welcome into the show. We're going to be doing this every single day. So, make sure you guys are following us, joining us. Make sure you hit that follow button no matter the platform, because Fumble Sports will be talking sports, whether it's sports betting, fantasy sports, or ranting about sports every single day. That's what we love to do. And I want to start just there. I want to start with the two playoff games last night and rant a little bit about those before we go into our daily sports betting conversations. And I want to start with that Boston Celtics 76ers game. And what stood out to me was, first of all, why is Marcus Smart getting so much opportunity with the ball late in that game? I was highly disappointed, and I wanted to break that down. Was that because Malcolm Brogdon was in foul trouble? Is that because Marcus Smart is kind of the alpha male, where Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown often default and kind of become betas in that moment? Or is it because Marcus Smart is the only player who's willing to take a final shot, and not from an alpha standpoint, but because he just takes it at opportune moments for him, but not necessarily for the team? I don't think that the 76ers outplayed the Boston Celtics. I don't think Doc Rivers actually outcoached Joe Mazzulla. That was the problem I had early in the series. I thought Doc Rivers was running circles around Joe Mazzulla. But yesterday, I actually thought Joe Mazzulla's plan was right. I just thought he may not have the alpha male that it takes. And that is what's concerning to me about the Boston Celtics is Jason Tatum is a great player, but he doesn't have the killer instinct. And I was also disappointed in his clock management on that last play in overtime. Took way too long to get that into sequence, and ultimately the Marcus Smart shot was too late for that reason. But I thought the 76ers got bailed out. We're seeing in this series the Celtics are the better team. The Celtics should ultimately win this series because when the Celtics play their best, they win by 20, 15 points. When the 76ers play their best, they're barely beating the Celtics in regulation or in overtime. So for a number of reasons, I feel like the Boston Celtics should and will ultimately win this series. I just think it's going to happen in 7 games. And my concern, if I am a Celtics fan, is that now the pressure is on, and the 76ers are starting to finally learn how to play together, Joel Embiid with James Harden. That tandem had not played well against the Boston Celtics during the regular season. Now in the postseason, it's starting to finally find shades of cohesion, but only in the last 2 games for me. Celtics need to play better, obviously, at home, and when the Celtics play at home, I always feel more concerned. I almost feel like they play better on the road, as if the crowd adds to the pressure, adds to the anxiety. I saw it in last year's finals. I was just disappointed by their performances against Golden State. So anyways, that's where I come out on the Boston Celtics and the 76ers Game 4. As for the Denver Nuggets and the Phoenix Suns, really impressed, obviously, with the Phoenix Suns. Impressed with how they've responded without Chris Paul. I thought that they would obviously not tank the rest of the series as in intentionally lose, wrong word, but I thought they would go in the tank. I did think that the Denver Nuggets were going to roll over them, turn that into a gentleman's sweep, win that in 5 games. Kevin Durant and Devin Booker have simply taken over, and they're starting to use the role players around them. You saw Landry Shamet last night, had a really good game shooting from range. That's what it's going to take for the Phoenix Suns to ultimately come out of that series. I don't think they will. I think it's going to go 6 games. I see Denver winning at home, and then I do see Denver traveling, playing better defense in Phoenix, and ultimately winning that series in 6 games. Those are my quick takes on what we've seen from the NBA playoffs yesterday. As for tonight, we have 2 more games. Miami Heat hosting the New York Knicks. They dominated the Knicks in Game 3, and I was really surprised by that. I did think Miami was going to win, but I thought the Knicks would cover the spread. I was really disappointed in the effort I saw. Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle, terrible shooting games. You wonder if that's because of Spoelstra's defense, the effort of the Heat, or whether Brunson and Randle really are this is the reason they're second-tier stars. And this is the question I was asking a moment ago about Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, is if you are the alpha male, if you are a superstar, you are going to take over in not just important games, but on the road. On the road is where you're going to show your dominance. I felt like that's where we've seen great players ultimately emerge. A lot of role players can play well at home. Can you play well on the road? And Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle so far disappointed me. I'm really curious to see what they offer tonight in that game, in part because Spoelstra is maybe the best coach right now in the NBA. He doesn't get nearly enough respect despite all the at this point, all the accomplishments. He's top 10 in wins all time. He has multiple championships. You can't say that about, I think, any coach in the league other than Pop and Kerr. But that said, Spoelstra is such a smart coach. He deploys his players incredibly well. He doesn't have a lot of length on this team, but he has a lot of quick speed. They know how to get into the airspace of shooters. And I do think Bam Adebayo, his shoulder is concerning when it comes to offense, but defensively, he does a really nice job playing on the perimeter. He can play inside the post. And Julius Randle, if I'm the Knicks, I almost want Julius Randle in a 4 position, putting Mitchell Robinson in a 5, trying to get Mitchell Robinson to play physical up against a Bam Adebayo, and almost let Julius Randle be in that 4 where he might be playing someone who's got a bit more athleticism, but he's able to body them up a little bit better. That's what I'd like to see from the Miami Heat. I'm curious, obviously, to know how they're ultimately going to play when it comes to Jimmy Butler. Are we going to have to rely, if you're the Miami Heat, too much on Jimmy Butler's offense? Can Kyle Lowry continue to perform at the level that he has? Don't worry, everybody. We're going to get to all of your comments in the chat across TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. We're just ranting a little bit on the NBA playoffs, what we've seen so far, and what we can expect. The last game that we're going to see on Monday night is going to be an absolute doozy. The Golden State Warriors playing the Los Angeles Lakers in Game 4. I absolutely expect the Golden State Warriors to win that game. I expect Golden State to bounce back. They have the pedigree to be able to respond. It's not like a Memphis Grizzlies. It's not like one of these inexperienced teams that's going up against LeBron James. The Golden State Warriors have a tremendous amount of experience. They've gone through adversity. They went through adversity in the previous series against the Sacramento Kings. There's no reason for a Warriors fan to be concerned right now. This series is all about tonight, and I expect the Golden State Warriors to win this game, even the series, send it back to Golden State with the Warriors having home court advantage. And given that the Warriors were one of the best against the spread teams at home this year, I think the Warriors are going to win the series. I think it goes 7, but tonight is pivotal. But I expect the Warriors to shoot the lights out. Klay Thompson, Steph Curry, I both expect them to have big nights. Also expect a couple role players like an Andrew Wiggins, maybe even like a Gary Payton II. Those guys to have big games because, again, those two players, they've gone through this before. They're not like what we're seeing from the Lakers, where some of their younger players like a Vanderbilt going through it for a first time. So Wiggins, if he didn't have a great game last game, he knows how to bounce back. I expect the athleticism, but more importantly, the experience of Golden State to be on display on Monday night. Expect them to win. Wouldn't be surprised if it's a cover. Obviously, they're going to cover. They're an underdog, but wouldn't be surprised if even you got them at minus money somehow, great odds. That is the kind of, or took points with them. I totally expect Golden State to win that game, and I expect the Lakers to be a little lackluster, to almost, I don't think they're going to have the killer instinct. I don't think we're going to see LeBron James in the gym 5 hours ahead of game time, and that obviously is what we saw in Game 3. We saw the Lakers with the killer instinct. They were the aggressor. I think you're going to see Golden State take on that role tonight. The big difference is their killer instinct is Steph Curry running around and shooting threes from range. So for so many reasons, I like Golden State on Monday night. I do like the Knicks to cover tonight. I don't know who I feel about the win, though. This is a game in which I like the under because two defensive-minded head coaches, they're going to be focused, obviously, on trying to minimize scoring. But I don't know who I've got coming out with the win. I think it's going to be a last-second shot kind of game in that Miami-New York game. I think it's going to be a buzzer beating. I could see that easily going to overtime. I don't think we're going to get the kind of blowout that we saw in Game 3. Expect the Knicks to shoot better. Expect defense to still be the focal point of both teams. But certainly expect a competitive game that goes down to the final few seconds. So those are my thoughts on the NBA playoffs. As for the NHL playoffs, I'm going to hit on one quick note. If you bet the NHL, I feel so sorry for you. You must know something that I don't. I don't touch the NHL because if we've learned anything from these playoffs, a bouncing puck on ice that's looking for a blade of a hockey stick is one of the hardest things to bet across sports. They say the hardest thing to do in sports is to hit a 95-mile-per-hour fastball. The hardest thing to do in sports betting is to predict a hockey score or outcome. The Florida Panthers are proving that right now. How they handled things, how they beat the Boston Bruins, how they won that series, and how they've performed in the first 3 games against the Toronto Maple Leafs, if anybody saw the 8 seed playing like this, the Florida Panthers were the best team in hockey in 2021, 2022. They're playing like that now in 2023 in these playoffs. Unbelievable run that they're on. They're as hot a team. The only bet I would recommend is maybe you want to take them on the Stanley Cup to win it. I'm sure they're still getting good odds. But the run that they're on, who could have forecasted that? One of the many reasons I would say, if you bet hockey, be very, very careful where you take your trends from, how you take your advice, how you place your bets, because it is a sport that is so random. I don't know how others do it. It is a sport I simply do not touch. Those are my early rants. Don't worry, everyone who's got comments, questions. We're going to get into everything about today's sports and what kind of bets you should make. But make sure you go to our website, buttfumblesports.com. Check out all of our content. We put out blogs, bets, rants, everything that the sports fan could want. Check out our merchandise. We have a ton of NFL shirts, a LeBron James shirt, a Babe Ruth calling a shot shirt. So go check out our merchandise. That's all at buttfumblesports.com. There's a link in our bio. Go hit that. It takes you right to our website. Now that we've done that, covered everything, let's talk about these sports bets that we're going to make today. We use the sports betting app Outlier. It's a great sports betting app. If you want to learn more about it, DM me. More than happy to hit you up with a link and set you guys up. But this is the app that we're going to use. You can't see it if you're watching us on Instagram Live, but Instagram Live, appreciate you guys joining us. I'm going to be on this platform a lot more, so if you guys want to hit me up and get more requests about how you can get bets, what kind of advice you should take, what kind of apps or trends to follow, hit me up on Instagram. More than happy to do that. Just DM me, because Instagram, I'm kind of new to the Instagram Live, so still learning it. As for those watching on TikTok Live, right now you're going to see on your screen the sports betting app Outlier. That's what we're going to be using. And like I mentioned before, one of the things we like to do is we like to look at their early insights and their trends. We're going to check those out. So for those who love betting sports but can't put in the time, can't put in the research, they have a full-time job and they just want to find some good hot bets to play, this is a great place to start. You just go to their insights page. And one of the things I like to find when I'm here, again, is just ones that I'm getting at good odds. So like Nikola Jokic for tomorrow night's game. This is for tomorrow night's game, Tuesday night's game. He has over 13.5 rebounds in 4 of his last 5 games against the top 10 scoring defense, 80% of the time covering. I'm getting that at minus 130. Those are great bets. Again, that's for tomorrow night. Let's check out what's going on for tonight's games. Interesting trend here. Miami Heat are 4-1 against the spread versus the Knicks at home off 2 or more days of rest. Miami minus 4.5. You're getting that at minus 105. Again, I'm not touching that. I'm more inclined to actually buy points when it comes. If I'm going to take Miami, I'm going to buy points and try and buy that down as much as possible. Again, I feel like it's going to be a one-possession game. I feel like this is a final shot game. This is Jimmy Butler with the ball in his hands. Final few seconds. I don't feel like this is going to be a blowout either way. So I'm fully expecting this to be close. One of the reasons I'd be more inclined to take the Knicks on the spread. I feel like you could buy it both ways. I feel like you could get Knicks to cover, buy the points, or either take it now, but also maybe buy it down, see where public money comes down, and still take Miami somewhere. So you can get on both sides of the fence on this one, but I'm still kind of feeling it out. I'm curious to know how Jimmy Butler's ankle is. I don't expect it to be an issue, but I feel like the Knicks offense is going to bounce back a little bit more when it comes to shooting efficiency. One of the reasons I'm not crazy about betting the spread on that game. Okay, looking at, oh man, see here's a trend that I'm bucking, and I don't like where I'm at today, because again, I like the Golden State Warriors to bounce back. They've been such a terrible team on the road this year. It really is a tough play to go with the Golden State Warriors for the most part, because they've been so bad during the regular season on the road. But I feel like today is a perfect example of, this isn't regular season. We shouldn't be taking from a 2023 sample size. We should be looking at their performances in the playoffs. And when the Golden State Warriors get down in the playoffs, they usually bounce back with a win. For a lot of reasons, I do like Golden State on the money line tonight. So even though this trend that you see on the screen does suggest that they're not a great play on the money line tonight based off the trends in 2022, 2023, I'm going to buck that one. I'm going to say that's a regular season stat. I'm going to look towards some more how this team has performed in the playoffs over the last larger sample size too. If this was a team that didn't have a lot of history in the playoffs, I wouldn't look towards that. But it's the Golden State Warriors. That was an embarrassing loss in Game 3. That was part of it too. They didn't just lose. If the Golden State Warriors had won in a very close game, I definitely feel like, okay, maybe that's where you can kind of avoid them. They didn't play, they really played poorly. I feel like they're going to bounce back. So make sure you guys are wary of betting on the Lakers on the money line tonight. I feel like if anything, you want to take Golden State to cover and just be really safe. I feel like the Golden State Warriors are going to win on the money line. So you can hear where my head's at. If you want to fade or follow, I totally understand, but we're going to put out as much information as possible. I'll certainly give you my takes, and we can take it from there. Want to get to some of these comments in the chat. Marius, hope you're having a great day. Hope you're doing well. Can I see the Lakers winning the series? I certainly can, but to me, it's all about this game tonight. If the Lakers are going to win this series, I feel like they have to win tonight. If the Lakers win, go up 3-1, they'll lose in Golden State, and then it's all about Game 6. If the Lakers can hold court in Game 4, hold court in Game 6, there you go. That's how you get your series win. That's how the Lakers will win. I don't see that happening. I think the Golden State Warriors are going to win tonight. I think the Golden State Warriors are going to win Game 5. I see the Lakers winning Game 6. Comes down to a Game 7. I see the Warriors winning Game 7 at home. I feel like the Warriors at home are really tough to bet against. Again, the only reason I felt they lost Game 1 was because the rest advantage that the Lakers had. Lakers had finished that series against the Grizzlies, had a ton of time to rest, had a ton of time to prepare. Meanwhile, the Golden State Warriors were off a 1 day of rest after that Sacramento Kings series, which was a bruising series. That was an intense series. So for a number of reasons, I thought the Lakers had the benefit of the schedule in Game 1. That's not going to occur the rest of the series. I feel like every game that's in Golden State, I feel like the Warriors are going to win. That's what makes tonight so pivotal. Can the Golden State Warriors reclaim home court advantage? I expect they will, despite the trend that we're showing on the screen now. Mr. Chubbs269 on Instagram Live. Is the NBA rigged? Of all the sports, it is the one that is the most concerning when it comes to being rigged. I don't feel like it is. I'm going to be honest. I feel like, especially because sports betting has become more prevalent in society, I actually think that's a good sign. I feel like the NBA is less likely to be rigged now than in the past because there are citizens betting money that the government acknowledges are betting money. When things are kind of in the dark and no one's paying attention, you can get away with it. But for a number of reasons, no, I don't think the NBA is rigged right now. This is what I will say, though, about the NBA, and it's important to know. I put this often out in a lot of tweets. I will later today. Referees matter. I talked to a friend of mine about this the other day. There are two sports in which the umpire or the referee matters. Major League Baseball and the NBA. The NFL, not nearly as much. I think it plays a factor in the play out of the game in terms of flags, obviously, but the outcome, less so. When it comes to the umpire in baseball and the referee in basketball, the total especially, over-under is absolutely impacted by those individuals. An umpire with a really tight strike zone who's going to allow a lot of walks, gives an advantage to the offense. Yeah, that plays a factor. I'm definitely going to like an overplay when you get that kind of umpire. NBA, when you get someone who calls a lot of fouls, hey, those are points that are scored without the clock going. Gives me reason to like the over. So, no, I don't think the NBA is rigged. But if you bet the NBA, absolutely look up how teams have done with certain NBA, with certain referees calling a game. One place you can go, Basketball Reference. If you go to Basketball Reference and you look up a team, like if you go to Google and you type in 2023 Boston Celtics, their Basketball Reference page will come up. You click on it. You can go find how they've done under certain referees. So actually, I'm going to do that right now. I'm actually going to show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. If you're watching on Instagram Live, unfortunately, you can't see this. You can check it out if you're watching on YouTube or if you're watching on TikTok Live. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I type in 2023 Boston Celtics. I don't want their roster. I want their stats. So 2023 Boston Celtics. Basketball Reference comes right up. Great. I go to more Celtics pages. I can look up the referees. This isn't a good example, actually, because they're not playing tonight. Let's look up the Miami Heat. 2023 Miami Heat, because they're playing tonight. So I can actually look up exactly how they've performed with the referee tonight. So I go to 2023 Miami Heat. I go to the Heat page. I look up the referees, how they've done with certain referees. Forgive me, I've got also beeping in the back, so totally ignore that. So then I also look up NBA officials. Every day at 9 o'clock a.m., the NBA puts out referee assignments. And what's so interesting to me is you can find exactly the referee. So Zach Zarba is the referee for tonight's game. Zach Zarba is the referee for the Miami Heat New York Knicks game. I can go to this referees page. I can look up Zach Zarba. Hey, what do you know? This is a great stat. The Miami Heat this season are 1-4 when Zach Zarba is the lead official. Wouldn't you know, Zach Zarba, lead official, and what did I say? Do you think the NBA wants this series to be tied? Okay, let's check out the New York Knicks. New York Knicks, 2023 New York Knicks, basketball reference. I go check out their referees. Let's check out Zach Zarba. Interestingly enough, Knicks are 2-4 in games Zach Zarba has refereed. What's interesting to me, if you could see on the screen, is you get the point differential as well. So, point differential, Knicks are minus 3.6 points, have a negative 3.6 point differential when Zach Zarba is the lead referee. Miami, despite having a 1-4 record, actually has a positive point differential. So clearly, despite having 4 losses, one of those games they had a blowout. So again, you could just kind of find personal fouls, how they've done. Free throw attempts. The Heat are actually a positive +4 on their free throw attempts. So they're getting a few more with Zarba. Meanwhile, the Knicks only less than 1 extra free throw. So for a number of reasons, we're going to see a tight game. We're going to see a game that's, tightly officiated. Again, reasons for me to think the under, reasons for me to think about the New York Knicks on a cover play. So that's an example of some of the betting advice that we think about, things we want to look into if you're going to bet the NBA, opportunities to do things so that you're getting the best possible advantage. Because obviously Vegas does this for a living. You're giving your money over to a lot of casinos. How can you take advantage? Looking at referees, looking at umpires, definitely something you want to consider. Appreciate all of you guys joining us across all the platforms, TikTok Live, YouTube Live, and of course on Instagram Live. But Fumble Sports is going to have a daily show every single day, so make sure you guys are following us on every single day. Yeah, sorry, I can't zoom out on this. I can't zoom out any further on this. So here we go. I can just shift it over. So there you see the referees on this left side. If you're watching on YouTube or watching on, sorry about that, I didn't show it. But there you see Zach Zarba. This is for the Miami Heat. So this is how Zach Zarba, as a referee, has been for the Miami Heat. You can see him right there at the top. So this is just an easy way, again, just getting some extra information. One of the places we like to go is Outlier. One of the places we like to go is covers.com. Here you can see Outlier. Let's go check out some of these games for tonight. Let's check out that New York Knicks Miami Heat game. We're right here on the Outlier app. If you guys want to learn more about Outlier, DM us. Hit us up on Instagram, TikTok, or on YouTube. DM us. I'm more than happy to send you a link so you can check out Outlier for yourself. Hit us up across our platforms. Just DM us, and we're more than happy to hit you up and help you out with all of that later on. Okay, Knicks in Miami. Here we're gonna check out the spread. We're gonna look at it from a New York Knicks cover perspective. So Knicks +4.5. You can get it at -108 on FanDuel. Let's take a deeper dive into that. If you're watching on TikTok Live or on YouTube, you can see my screen, see the stats we're going to be looking at. First of all, I do like to check out some of the insights that you get here on the left side of the screen. You can quickly see Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler assists. The under is the stronger play. Interesting. Not necessarily something I would have considered. Jimmy Butler 3-pointers, the under is the stronger play. Again, not something I necessarily would like. I think I'd actually avoid that one because I could easily see him taking and making 2 threes. Rebounds. Man, Jimmy Butler, they're fading Jimmy Butler tonight. That tells me a lot, by the way. The trends are fading Jimmy Butler. One of the reasons you want to maybe consider the Knicks is you want to maybe reverse engineer it. If a lot of the trends are kind of fading Jimmy Butler, think of how important Jimmy Butler is to the Miami Heat offense, how he needs to deliver at least, how many points in terms of points actually scored, assists, the contribution he has to make. So if the trends say to fade him, maybe you should fade Miami Heat at large. But let's shift over the screen so you can see this trend here. Here, I'll slide down so you can see it. Really strong trend. Miami is 4-1 against the spread when the Knicks have they're at home. When the Miami Heat are at home against the Knicks with 2 or more days of rest. I brought this up earlier. I'm going to fade that a little bit. I think obviously Miami could win, but I'm going to fade that in terms of covering the spread. I do like the Knicks to cover the spread tonight. Make sure you guys are hitting that follow button. That way you know every time we go live across across TikTok, Instagram, and on YouTube. And make sure you guys are, if you're watching on Instagram, you can hit that link in our bio. You can go check out our YouTube page, Butt Fumble Sports on YouTube. So guys, make sure you're hitting that follow button. That way you know every time we're live. We're going to have a daily show every single day, usually from 1 to 3, unless there are day baseball games like Wednesday and Thursday. On day baseball games, we will start at 11 a.m. So guys, make sure you hit that follow button. That way you know every time we're live. If you've got questions, comments, you want to rant with us, throw your comments in the chat. Happy to help you out with your bets today. If you like playing DFS as well, happy to help you out with your DFS lineups. So throw questions in the chat. If you want to talk about player prop bets, total plays, money line plays, we're here for all of it. Butt Fumble Sports is a sports content company that's here for the sports fan, helping you out with everything you need, whether it's sports, fantasy sports, gambling on sports, or just ranting about sports. We're here for all of it. So throw comments in the chat. If you've got comments on Instagram Live, we're watching there as well. And of course on YouTube, if you have a question, we can answer those. So make sure you're following us. Make sure you're subscribing. We'd love to hear your comments and your questions. We're just checking out some of the better plays for today. We've been diving into this Miami Heat, New York Knicks game. Like I've been mentioning, I expect that to be a close game. So I like the Knicks to cover. I like the under in that game. Those are the two plays. I'm not crazy about the money line. I really have a tough time predicting which team's going to ultimately win, in part because I think it's going to be on the last-second shot. I expect it to be Jimmy Butler, last-second shot, make-or-miss league kind of situation. So I like the Knicks on the cover play because 4.5 especially I feel like is good play. If you want to buy that up to 6 by buying 1.5, I wouldn't hate on it. You could probably get that at -140, -150. That's still a good bet. But for a number of reasons, I feel like you want to avoid the money line on this one unless you have strong conviction. And if you did, I'd be more inclined to take the Knicks. It feels like we're getting series. Every series right now is either 2-2 or I have it being 2-2 after tonight. So for a number of reasons, I feel like the Knicks are the only play to make when it comes to the spread and the money line. Appreciate you guys joining us. Again, if you have comments, questions, or you just want to rant about something, feel free to throw everything in the chat. We're here for it. We're going to look up some player prop bets. We will show our best bets of the day. We'll throw those out as we find them. And again, we put out bets on our website, buttfumblesports.com. But one thing we're going to do throughout the show every single day is throughout our research, things that we just find randomly. Here's a perfect example. We'll go check out some MLB player prop bets. You'll always find a few in which you're like, really? That's a good play today? And they always seem to come out working well. So if we can get our props loaded in here, we'll jump into it. Okay, great plays today. Oh, here's one I like right away. I was doing my research on this last night. Love this play. Giving this one out right away. Cody Bellinger. Cody Bellinger, over under total bases, over half a base, -150. I love this bet. I actually would even take it at +1, over 1.5 at +154. I love that play. You can get over 1.5 at +154 on FanDuel. If you only wanted to take it at over half a base, you could get that on DraftKings at -155, BetMGM at -150. That's a bet I really like. Just looking at the history that Cody Bellinger has against Miles Michaelis of the St. Louis Cardinals. By the way, I'll probably butcher names every now and then. Don't think anything of it. I care more about the data than I do about pronunciation. But the starting pitcher of the Cardinals does not have great numbers against Bellinger. He's had good numbers against the starting pitcher. So for a number of reasons, I would take Cody Bellinger over half a base. I actually would take it at over 1.5 and get that at plus money. So I'm willing to throw that up there as one of our first favorite bets of the day is Cody Bellinger over. We're going to say over half a base because that's what we were getting at. We're getting that at minus 150. I would also take that at over 1.5. I should put this over 1.5 total bases. And I can get the over 1.5 at plus 154. So that's one of the bets we like today. Just quickly doing our research. Definitely a bet that we like. Just researching how he's done in his career against the starting pitcher. We're also, one of the websites I do want to shout out because I love looking at the weather for sporting events when it comes to betting. And there's a great website you guys should check out. It's called Ballpark Pal. Ballparkpal.com. You can check out the weather factors for every game in the MLB today and look at how the weather will impact the home run rate, doubles and triples, singles and overall runs. Again, the website is ballparkpal.com. Great website. I'm actually going to put that in my comment section, ballparkpal.com. So you guys can check that out. If you're watching on TikTok Live, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see it on the screen. If you're watching on Instagram, ballparkpal.com, it's a great place to find how weather is going to impact the game. So looking actually at that game between the Cardinals and the Cubs, that has a very strong underplay to it. So I know I'm talking about Cody Bellinger having a good history against the starting pitcher. I still like that play, weather regardless. But I did want to shout out, Cardinals-Cubs might make for a great underplay because of the weather. So keep your eye on that game. Let's actually check out that game when it comes to what the total is right now. So I'll slide you over so you guys can see on TikTok Live and on YouTube. On Instagram, just so you guys know, we're checking out the total for the Cardinals-Cubs game. Here was my concern. The total right now, and I'll slide it over so you can see, set at 7. Pretty tough. Not feeling great about it, obviously, because, yeah. But the fact that it's still favored at 7. Minus 105. Oh, sorry if I show that on the screen, didn't work out. I'm still learning how to use some of these platforms, so forgive me if I share a link or something and it doesn't quite work out. But wanted to show this play up on the screen. We're looking at the total play for the Cubs and Cardinals. Heavy lean towards the under. The line movement, it's shifted down. You can see here on the screen, line movement shifted down from 7.5 to 7. So for a number of reasons, a lot of people feeling the way I do, which is the under is a strong play. So far this year, Stroman has pitched really well. You can see here on the screen, Stroman, 2.18 ERA, 41 innings. He's pitched really well as a Cub. Meanwhile, Miles Mikolas, 5.79 ERA. Yuck. Ugly. Okay, now looking at how these teams have done recently. Cardinals over has hit 5 straight games. Don't love it. Head-to-head, these are coming from September and August. Don't want to lean too much into those. And the Cubs, the under's been a decent play, but not at that total of 7. Not at that total of 7. That seems really low. The weather is the big factor. Again, I mentioned ballparkpal.com is a great place to see weather for the NBA. So definitely looking into this game. Cubs-Cardinals underplay. It's 7. If you can find a place to buy that up, might be the way to do it. Here you can see on the screen, if I can buy that, let's see what I can get. 8. Under 8 runs, if you see up on the screen on TikTok Live and on YouTube, under 8 runs, I could buy at minus 160 on BetMGM, minus 165 on DraftKings. Not a terrible play. Let's put it this way. I love this if you can parlay it. If I could parlay under 8 runs in the Cardinals-Cubs game with another outcome, I would love that. But as a straight bet, I don't think I'd make it. Under, though, I would go under 8, under 8.5, under 8.5 at minus 185. And again, parlay that with another game. Guys, make sure you're hitting that like button. Every time we hit a certain benchmark with our likes, we will give out bets that we really like. So, guys, make sure you're hitting that like button as many times as you can. And that way we can... Here's the question. How do I see the likes in here? Blease, you'd have to keep me up to date on the likes because I can't see them where I am. Unless I have a live goal. Highlight. Anyway, so we're live on TikTok Live, Instagram, and on YouTube all at once, giving out some of these great betting plays today. Looking at this Cardinals-Cubs game. We like the under in that game, but as I mentioned a moment ago, right now the total is set at 7 runs. That's a tough line for me. I still think the under is a strong play there, but I actually have more confidence in if you get it at a better rate, if you get it at like under 8, under 8.5, and then parlay it with something else, we'll bet it. Please just let me know what our like count is right now, and then I'll set a mark, and we can base things off of that. Let's get back to some of these player prop bets. Wait a minute, we got a question in the Instagram live question. WTW for NBA tonight. Who do we like to win for tonight's game? Let's check it out. Who do we like to win for tonight's game? We will give those out. What are we at, Blease? Blease, hit us up with that like count, and then I'm going to give out the NBA picks. We'll give out other bets for that, actually. We'll give out other bets for the likes. I'll give out my NBA picks because you can find those on our website, buttfumblesports.com, so everyone already has those. So anyways, the bets I do like for tonight, I like the Knicks to cover. I like Knicks to cover plus 4.5, and I like the under in the Knicks game. The total for that Knicks game is set at 208.5. I like the under, so for a number of reasons, I like Knicks plus 4.5, and I like the under 208.5 in that first game of the night. Again, that's 7:30. That game's on TNT. For the late game, Warriors at Lakers, I like the Warriors on the money line. I'm getting that at plus 130. I like Warriors, obviously, then to cover at plus 2.5. And for that game, I do like the over. I like over 227.5 for that overplay. And the reason I like that overplay is because I think the Warriors are going to shoot the lights out. I think the Warriors are just going to have a great offensive game. So for so many reasons, I really like the Warriors and the over in that game. Those are my 2 NBA plays of the night. If you want to check out my NBA bets every single day, go to our website, buttfumblesports.com. The link is in our bio. Hit that link, takes you right to our website. Okay, I'm being told we're at about 800 likes. So when we get to 1,000 likes on TikTok, we will give out one of our favorite bets of the day. So make sure you hit that like button. Once we get up to 1,000 likes, we will do one of our favorite bets of the day. Okay, Joe just put a hilarious comment on TikTok Live. Love that. I have a picture of my Johnson in my phone, and my wife found it, and now she thinks I'm cheating. You're hilarious. Love the comment. So anyways, throw your comments and questions in the chat. Once we hit 1,000 likes, I will give out one of my favorite bets of the day. So guys, make sure you're hitting that like button. That way you know what one of my favorite player prop bet of the bets of the day is. So hit that like button as many times as you can. Let's get up to 1,000. Appreciate all of you guys with us. Make sure you're joining us every single day. Hit that follow button. We're going to be live every single day. Butt Fumble Sports is going to have a daily show, either 1 to 3 or 11 to 1, depending on what the schedule is. So we just hit 1,000 likes because you guys are amazing and you guys clearly want some best bets of the day. So let me give you one right now. I'm going to go to my trusty place where I have it. Okay, one of my favorite bets of the day. Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis has exceeded 2.5 assists in 6 of his last 8 home games after a win. I like Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis over 2.5 assists. You're going to get that at minus 140 where I found it. So that's Anthony Davis over 2.5 assists. That's one of my favorite bets of the day. Anthony Davis over 2.5 assists. So guys who just hit that like button on TikTok Live, you guys are to credit for this favorite play of the day. Anthony Davis over 2.5 assists tonight. I think that he will not have as good a scoring game. We've seen he's been really seesaw. He has a great game, he really struggles. He has a great game, he really struggles. Well, game 3, he played really well, so I'm expecting him to have a bounce-back bad game. Therefore, I think he's going to be more in distribution mode. I think Anthony Davis will be less aggressive as a scorer, more likely to pass the ball out. One of the reasons I really like it, Butt Fumble Sports' one of our favorite bets of the day is Anthony Davis over 2.5 assists. So I'll find that. Let me find that on Outlier so you guys can see what the current odds are. So Anthony Davis. And we're going to go to, when it comes to all props, we'll go to assists over 2.5. There you see the over 2.5. You can get that at minus 137 on FanDuel, minus 140 on DraftKings. These are outstanding odds because a minus 2.5, over 2.5 is a really easy play. He could get to 2 in the first quarter. So minus 130, minus 140. You could parlay that with some other bets. Really like that play. One of my favorite bets of the day. And why am I giving it out? Because we hit that we hit that 1,000 likes. Zozo and Evan is asking for any good baseball bets of the day. We'll dive into that now. Let's check out some baseball bets. By the way, I'm being asked to check out, we talked earlier about referees in the NBA, and these are the referees that are assigned for today's game. You guys can get these every single day at 9 a.m. The NBA puts out who the referees are going to be. So actually, I do want to dive. We talked about the Knicks-Miami Heat game. Before we get back into the MLB, I do want to dive a little bit deeper into the NBA. We talked about this Knicks-Heat game and how Zach Zarba could play a factor. How both teams have a losing record with him. How I believe it's the Knicks have a negative point differential rather. Miami is like under 1 point in point differential. So expecting a close game makes a lot of sense for Zach Zarba. But we didn't talk about Scott Foster and this Golden State Warriors Los Angeles Lakers game. So let's talk about that a little bit more. Let's dive into that. So again, for those who weren't with us earlier, one of the things we like to do is we like to look at how teams have done with certain referees. Because referees, I believe, along with MLB umpires, make the biggest factor in terms of the outcome, especially when it comes to total plays. One of the things I like to look at when I bet totals in MLB or in the NBA. So I go to the 2022-2023 Golden State Warriors basketball reference page. You can get these Warriors, these other pages. I can see how they've done with certain referees. If you're watching on TikTok Live and on YouTube, you can follow us right now and you can see exactly what I'm doing so you guys can do this on your own. So, the referee for tonight's game, Scott Foster, let's check it out. Okay, in his games this year, Scott Foster has been the lead ref for 4 Golden State Warrior games. The Warriors are just 1-3 in those games, and the point differential is minus 2.5. Yuck. By the way, more important, this is actually a really bad stat if you're betting the Warriors tonight. And I still am going to bet the Warriors, but I'm being honest, this is maybe reason to fade me. Minus 13.5. You guys can't see that on the screen because I'm blocking it, but let me shift it up. So you see this minus 13.5 right here? That means that their opponent, when Scott Foster is ref for the Golden State Warriors, their opponent is averaging 13.5 more free throw attempts. That is a huge number. That is a massive number. Just think about that. An opposing team, on average, in 4 games, average 48 minutes, 13.5 more free throw attempts for their opponent than for the Golden State Warriors. Now, there's already been a huge free throw disparity in favor of the Los Angeles Lakers in the series so far. Expect that trend to continue tonight. So free throws, expect Scott Foster to have a heavy whistle and have it favoring the Lakers. Now, let's check that out. I expect well, let's check out the Lakers side on this one now. We just looked at the Golden State Warriors, and I'm still betting the Warriors tonight, more again off of their history, but not a great look. Not a great look in terms of a trend. Scott Foster against the Golden State Warriors, not a great look. Okay, wow, I totally screwed that up. 2023 Los Angeles Lakers. So I go to 2022-2023 Lakers basketball reference page. I go to their referees. Let's check out how the Lakers have done with Scott Foster. If this page will respond. Thank you. Okay, so we go to Scott Foster here. If you guys see on the screen right here. Wow. I hate saying it. I don't like my bet right now. If you are betting the Golden State Warriors tonight, this is a scary one. Not going to lie. The Golden State Warriors when Scott Foster is the referee, the Golden State Warriors this year are 1-3 with a negative 2.5 point differential and a negative 13.5 free throw attempt differential. Okay? Those are horrible numbers for the Warriors. Meanwhile, the Lakers have had Scott Foster as a ref in 5 games. The Lakers are 4-1. They have a positive 6.5 point differential, and they average 11 more free throw attempts than their opponent. For so many reasons, this is a terrible look for the Golden State Warriors. The Warriors are already a bad against the spread team on the road. The referee, those stats are staggeringly in the Lakers' favor. I really hate it. I don't like it at all. But for so many reasons, the Golden State Warriors are not a good bet based off of the referee data. Take that for what you will. But Scott Foster, just ask Chris Paul. Scott Foster plays a factor in these games. By the way, just got a comment. Draymond Green, yeah. If this is going to be a tightly officiated game in favor of the Lakers, you have to believe that Draymond's going to be in foul trouble. You have to believe that Looney could be in foul trouble. For so many reasons, man, the Lakers might be the better play statistically tonight. I hate saying it. I was more going off the Warriors based off of their playoff history. When they're losers in the previous game, they have a tendency to bounce back. But man, these referee stats are really in the favor of the Los Angeles Lakers. Okay, I want to answer some of these comments or questions on our TikTok live chat. By the way, appreciate all of you guys following us, hitting us up. Guys, once we hit, please let us know how many likes we're at. And then we'll find another way to put a best bet out there. Okay, Alexander, if you missed us earlier, we did mention we love the under in the Heat Knicks game. We love the under in that game. So that is absolutely one of our favorite plays of the day, is the under in the Heat Knicks game. As for who comes out, I'm not touching the money line. I like the Knicks to cover. 4.5 feels like a bit too big a score. If you want to buy the 1.5, if you're worried that free throws at the end of the game might play a difference and might hurt you, fine, take the Knicks at +6. But I feel like the Knicks are going to bounce back. The Knicks are actually a pretty good road team this year, especially against the spread. So for so many reasons, I do like the Knicks to bounce back. Okay, when we hit 2,000 likes, I will give out another best bet of the day. So guys, hit that like button. When we hit 2,000 likes on TikTok Live, I will give out another favorite bet of the day. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Make sure you guys are hitting that follow button. And again, hit that like button. Once we hit 2,000 likes, I'll give out one of my favorite bets of the day. Alexander says the Heat are going to smack them. So Alexander has the Heat covering. Zozo, I will make it a player prop bet. Yep. So once we hit 2,000 likes, I will give out one of my favorite player prop bets of the day. So guys, hit that like button on TikTok Live. Get us up to 2,000 likes. Once we're there, I'll give out another favorite bet of the day. Want to give a big shout out to all you guys for joining us. We're going to dive into some MLB. If you guys want to get more of our NBA picks, we will get back to it in a little bit, so don't worry. But we do want to cover some MLB today a decent slate of games. Not a ton. I think it's like half the window is open. But enough MLB games to certainly put together a good DFS lineup. If you want to check out my DFS lineup, hit the link in our bio. Takes you right to our website, buttfumblesports.com. So hit that link in our bio. You can check out our favorite daily fantasy lineup of the day. We build that every single day based off of the best teams to stack, as well as the players who have the best history against the starting pitcher they'll be facing. So hit that link in our bio. Takes you right to our website, buttfumblesports.com, and you can check out that DFS lineup. What is your first free play of the day? Do I have a first free play of the day? I'll say my first favorite player prop bet that we gave out when we hit 1,000 likes was Anthony Davis over 2.5 assists tonight. Anthony Davis over 2.5 assists at minus 140. Man, we just hit 2,000 likes because you guys are freaking awesome. You guys are amazing. So I want to give a big shout out to all of you. Thank you guys for hitting that like button. Want to give out another favorite player prop bet of the day. And while I do that, I will throw up the website. You can see our website right here, buttfumblesports.com. You can check out the website. Here it has you can go check out the blog. So there you can see our daily fantasy lineup. You can see our favorite trend plays of the day, as well as what we're picking for the NBA games today. So that's what you can find on our website, buttfumblesports.com, as well as you can go to our store, check out some of this cool merchandise, especially some of these NFL shirts. We have one celebrating Jones on Jones crime, the butt punt, Mr. Irrelevant, and of course we've got this really cool LeBron James shirt. Oh, not our Babe Ruth shirt. Cool, but still different. But our LeBron James shirt. So you want to check that out. If you're a big Laker fan, this is definitely a shirt you want to have. So Butt Fumble Sports, you can check us out right at our website, buttfumblesports.com. The link is in our bio. Okay, want to give out that favorite player prop bet for hitting 2,000 likes. Appreciate you guys hitting that like button. Our second favorite player prop bet of the day is Julius Randle. Julius Randle under 22.5 points. Under 22.5 points. I will explain why. I'm going to talk about this on using the Outlier app so you guys can know a little bit more about why I like this bet. Oh, we're in the wrong section. So Julius Randle under 22.5 points. So right now it's shifted up to 23.5. I took it at 22.5. I got it at minus 104. But I can understand if you want to be a bit more cautious and take it at minus or at 23.5. But the whole point is, just look at your screen right now. What's the heavy play? Under. The probability on these, under 24.5 points, probability of 64%. Under 23.5, 56% probability. For a number of reasons, Julius Randle under 22.5, 23.5, and under 24.5 points is a really strong play today. So under Julius Randle point total, again, I took it at 22.5 last night. Here you can see the trends. I'm going to shift it over. This is last 10 games. Last 10 games. He's hit the over 22.5 just 3 times. 2 of those times in the last 10 games were in the regular season. He's played the Miami Heat in the last 10 games 3 times. He hit the over once in game 1, 25 points. But since then, 10 points. I'm definitely about the under in that play. Definitely about the under in the Julius Randle play. Don't know why that other game's not showing up, by the way. So that's one of my other favorite bets of the day. We hit 2,000 likes, and that's why I gave out that other favorite bet. It's Julius Randle. I would take it, you're getting it now at, let's say, under 23.5. So let me show you up on the screen. You can get it at different point values. I got it at under 22.5. You can now get that at plus 100. Under 23.5, minus 125. 24.5, minus 172. These are all good plays. These are all good plays. The trends are there. Let's go to another reason I like this one. I'm showing it up on the screen. Julius Randle has failed to exceed 26.5 points in 12 straight playoff games. So if you wanted to take it as high as 26.5, It's minus 279. That's not a good bet for me. But that trend says a lot. He just doesn't score as much in the playoffs. He is not as good a playoff player. Again, I also think the Miami Heat are a good defensive team. They know how to cover him. So for a number of reasons, Julius Randle under 22.5 or under 23.5 points. Really strong play today. Once we hit 3,000 likes, we will give out another favorite bet of the day. So guys, keep hitting that like button on TikTok Live and on Instagram, Twitter, all those other places we're broadcasting right now. We're on Instagram Live, we're on TikTok Live, and we're on YouTube Live. So whatever platform you're on, make sure you're subscribing, make sure you're following, make sure you're hitting that like button as many times as you can, and we'll give out some of our favorite bets as the show continues. If you have any questions, make sure you throw them in the chat. We're here to answer all of them. Vegas lines just changed for the under Heat. Yeah, Alexander, this is why you want to get your bets in early. You want to do your research. You want to look ahead of time because public money is going to come down. And obviously the sharp money as well. The big bettors are going to come down. The public money is going to come down. You know that a lot of people are going to favor the under. Keep in mind, there is a point where the under could be low enough where the over is worth taking, especially if you can buy points and buy it down. So keep your eye on good betting opportunities. What is a good bet today may not be a good bet tomorrow. So always look at ways to take advantage of where public money and smart, sharp money is coming down. If you guys have any questions about MLB player prop bets or MLB bets of the day, we're going to dive into that. We've been live for about an hour now. We've covered a lot of NBA. I also want to jump into the MLB a little bit. One of our favorite bets of the day when it came to the MLB was Cody Bellinger over half a base. I took it at 1.5, but over half a base is a really, really strong play. We're going to look at some of these other good over plays, or some of these good other prop bets. So one of the bets that I've actually been looking at more, unfortunately they don't have it. One of the bets I've been looking at more is stolen bases. There are some great stolen base player prop bets. There's just more stolen bases across Major League Baseball this year. Obviously the rules favor it, the trends, for so many reasons. There are a lot of reasons to like stolen bases. Outlier isn't showing those. But if you use a sports book that offers stolen bases, that is a good bet to make. You can often get those at like plus 300, plus 250 with some of the guys who actually steal bases on a consistent basis. Anthony Volpe is a guy I love to bet when it comes to stealing bases. He's got a great track record. Cedric Mullins is another one. So guys, if you like looking at good player prop bets that are a bit off the radar, stolen bases is definitely one of them. Okay, Alexander's got a good question for us. Mariners, Rangers. Alexander, are you asking about the total or are you asking about the money line or the spread in that one? Because I do want to mention, I love the total in that game. Ranger hitters and Mariner hitters both have great numbers against the starting pitchers in that one. So I actually have used that game as a stacker in my DFS. I have a number of Rangers and a number of Mariners. I'm using a number of offensive players in that game. So the over could be a good bet in that one. Let's check it out. We're going to our Outlier app. If you want to learn more about Outlier, make sure you DM us. More than happy to hit you up with a link that will set you up. So DM us if you want to learn more about the Outlier app and how to use it and where you guys can find it. But let's check out that Rangers-Mariners game. Okay, the total is set at 7.5. Now, one of the reasons the total is set at 7.5 is there is expected to be some tough weather. Definitely some wind. If I mentioned earlier, I use a website for weather when it comes to how it's going to impact the outcome of a game. When it comes to home runs, that Rangers-Mariners game has a negative 6% home run rate, so the weather is going to bring home runs down by about 6%, doubles and triples by 22%, it will go down, and runs by 15%. So for a number of reasons, the under seems to be, when it comes to weather, a favorable play. But when it comes to the batting averages between the two teams, the over is the stronger play. So let's dive into it really quick. Now, these stats haven't shown up yet because they're going off of 2023. but John Gray against Seattle hitters in the past, he has gotten butchered. I actually want to bring that up. Let's do a deeper dive on this. So, John Gray, this is something I like to do. I'll look up a pitcher stats, John Gray, and see how he's done against the hitters he'll be facing that day. So if you go to ESPN.com, you look up the pitcher, you can go to the bat versus hit. You can see how they've done against the hitters they'll be facing today. So this is definitely something you guys want to check out for either DFS or for betting purposes. So look at what the averages are. Why isn't this scrolling down? So John Gray, the hitters against John Gray in the Mariners lineup, 315 batting average, 6 home runs, 17 RBIs. I mean, really good numbers for these hitters. Really good numbers. Jared Kelenic, 4 at-bats, 2 home runs. Put him in he's in my DFS lineup today. AJ Pollock, 28 at-bats, 10 hits, a 357 average. I'll take that every time. Julio Rodriguez is only 1 for 6, but it was a home run. So even guys who have struggled against John Gray have decent numbers. I mean, J.P. Crawford's got 2 walks. I'm not starting him, but this is just a reason to believe. I like the over in that one. Even looking at the other starter, it's the other starter in that game, Logan Gilbert. Let's look at Logan Gilbert against the Texas Ranger hitters. So again, I go to ESPN.com, bat versus hit. 256 average against, 2 home runs, 6 RBIs, but Jonah Heim, 308 average. Nathaniel Lowe, 444 average. These are the kind of things we want to see. Garcia, only a 200 average, but he has a home run. So I like the over in that game. I like the over in the Rangers-Mariners game, and I've stacked a number of hitters in that one as well. I know the weather may not cooperate in terms of helping out, but I do like that one. Okay, Alexander's asking about Mariners on the run line. Mariners 3-4, Mariners win. Let's check out the run line in that one. So I'm going to jump back out. We'll go to that Mariners-Rangers game, and we'll look at the run line. So Mariners minus 1.5. You can get it plus 129. Rangers have been hot of late, though. Rangers have played decent ball of late. Mariners have done a decent job as well. Played the Astros really well. Interesting bet. I don't hate Mariners on the run line, Alexander. I don't hate that bet, and the reason is Mariner hitters have a better history than Ranger hitters against the starting pitcher. Mariners have been red hot. Mariners at home. I wouldn't hate it. I'm not a huge run line guy because baseball, a 1-run game and you're knocked out. But if you were to lean one way on the run line, I'd lean closer towards Mariners to cover the 1.5 than I would the Rangers on the plus 1.5. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Make sure you're hitting that follow button. Make sure you follow Butt Fumble Sports. That way you know every time we go live. Butt Fumble Sports is going to have a daily sports show that we're going to have on TikTok Live, YouTube Live, and on Instagram Live. We're on all 3 platforms right now. So make sure you guys are following us, subscribing. That way you know every time we go live, every single day. That way you can ask your DFS questions, your fantasy questions, your betting questions, or you can just rant with us about sports. Of course, we also give out best bets of the day. Once we hit 3,000 likes on TikTok Live, we will give out another favorite bet of the day, one of our favorite best bets. So hit that like button as many times as you can. Get us up to 3,000 likes, and we will give out another favorite bet of the day. Until that happens, we will continue to look at some MLB and some of our favorite plays of the day. One of the games I was looking at was the Baltimore Orioles hosting the Tampa Bay Rays. The Rays won yesterday against the Yankees in extra innings. The Orioles have been really hot of late. This is actually a bet that I really like, and you can see it on your screen right now, is Orioles on the run line plus 1.5. Orioles have offensively been playing really well, And meanwhile, the Rays are playing tighter games. The Rays aren't blowing teams out like they were earlier in the season. They're playing better competition. Games have been closer. They're still winning, but these have been much closer games. And I expect this series with the Orioles to be a really good one. I expect this to be a close game tonight. So taking the Orioles at plus 1.5, minus 105 is actually a bet that I really like in this one. Kyle Gibson, not the best ERA. He is going up against Shane McClanahan. But for a number of reasons, I actually think there's going to be offense in this game. I like the total over, and I also do like the Orioles to cover the run line. We have given out a few bets so far. I only put the Bellinger bet up there so far, but we did have a couple others. We had Anthony Davis over 2.5 assists. What did we get that at? We got that at, was it minus 140? So these are the 3 best bets we've given out so far for anyone who's missed the show. Cody Bellinger was one of them. Anthony Davis was one of them. We also took Julius Randle. I took it at a different line. I'm going to give you the more current line right now. We took the under. We took the under 23.5. I took it at 22.5, but you can get it at either. What was that? That was is that minus 140, minus 135? Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Make sure you guys are following us. Hit that follow button. That way, you know every time we're live. Hit that like button. We will give out another favorite bet once we hit 3,000 likes. So hit that like button. We have been live for 1 hour and 6 minutes so far and having nothing but fun. We'll be live for another 50 minutes or so. So make sure you hit that like button. That way we can hand out some more of our favorite bets of the day. Here you can see on your screen if you're watching on TikTok Live and on YouTube our favorite bets of the day. For those watching on Instagram Live, our favorite bets of the day are Cody Bellinger over half a total base at minus 150, over 1.5 at plus 154, Anthony Davis over 2.5 assists at minus 140, and Julius Randle under 23.5 points at minus 135, minus 140, depending on where you get it. If you have questions or want to dive into some of these best bets of the day or ask about some of the player prop bets that you're curious about, feel free to throw your question. It can be on Instagram Live. Throw your question. I'll see it. TikTok Live. Throw your question in the chat. YouTube. We have someone manning that. So if you have a question, a bet that you want to know whether it's a good play or not, we can do our research right in front of you, and that way you know if it's a good play to make. And if no one's going to ask a question, I'm just going to keep doing research, and that way I can get ready for my bets of the day. Okay, Tigers, Indians. I believe we took the under in that game. I'm like 90% sure we did. The Tigers. Yeah. In the Tigers-Guardians game, we took the under 7.5. That's one bet we did like. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Make sure you guys follow us. Hit that follow button. And, of course, get us up to 3,000 likes. That way we can give out another favorite bet of the day. I mentioned I like the under in the Tigers-Guardians. I like the over in the Rays-Orioles. Rockies, Pirates. Interesting. Let's check out the total. Pirates have cooled off, that's for sure. They've lost 5 in a row. More than that, but we're just seeing the last 5. Head-to-head. I'm not liking this game. I'm going to avoid the Rockies-Pirates game. That's not a bet I want to make. Yeah, please, I can't answer that question. I don't know. Like those come out. Those are harder. MLB does not give out, like, I can look up MLB umpires, but it's hard. Umpire assignments for today. There are Twitter accounts that do it, like Crew. Crew will give you the umpires. It's a Twitter account, so it's not so much a website. Police just asked, where do you find the umpires for these matchups? You can go to Umpire Crew. That's at Crew, at UMPCREW, and that's where you can find some of the umpires for the MLB games, and then you can look up who the home plate umpire is and how they do. But those do not come out usually in the same way the NBA does. So the NBA kind of releases them, makes it really easy. MLB does not make it as easy, so you got to kind of hunt and peck. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Once we hit 3,000 likes, we will give out another favorite bet of the day. Let's look at some favorite player prop bets. Let's look at some prop bets. Okay, I want to look at minimum odds that are minus 150. I want to look at things that are going to be in my favor. We already did Bellinger. Robbie Grossman. Here's one I like. That's one I like. Robbie Grossman over half a base. Over half a base. Robbie Grossman over half a base. Over, you can get at minus 130. He has good stats today against the starting pitcher he'll be facing. So Robbie Grossman over half a base is a player prop bet that I do like today. Looking at some other ones. Man, Orlando Cabrera under half a strikeout is plus 175. That surprised me because that dude is struggling right now. That dude is having a terrible time at the dish. This isn't one I like today. Nico Horner he's got good stats against the Cardinals starting pitcher, so I'm surprised the under is as strong a play today as it is. That might be a trap right there. Okay, Cedric Mullins over half a base against the Rays and Shane McClanahan. I kind of like that one. Let's check out how Shane McClanahan's done. How he's done against the Orioles. So, Shane McClanahan against the Baltimore Orioles. Cedric Mullins has a 353 batting average against them. 6 for 17, 2 home runs. Cedric Mullins is a good play today. This is what we're talking about. Let's throw that one on the board. So that is, once we get back to Outlier, so that is Cedric Mullins over half a base. Over half a base at minus 125. Yes, please. Cedric Mullins. Is he with an E or with an I? He's with an I. We got it right. Cedric Mullins over half a base at minus 125, right? That's what we got that at? Like, stupid money. Minus 125. Implied probability is at 56%. But again, look at these stats. Cedric Mullins against Shane McClanahan. 6 of 17, 2 home runs, 3 RBIs. That's what we want. We want a good track record against that starting pitcher. So, for a number of reasons, Cedric Mullins over half a total base at minus 125. Like, put it on the frickin' board, guys. That is what we are looking for. That is one of our favorite bets of the day. Putting that right in front of you. Make sure you guys hit that follow button. That way you know every time we're live so you can get bets like this, research like this. Hit that follow button. That way you know every time we're live. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Once we hit 3,000 likes, we will give out another favorite bet of the day. Right now, we're just doing research, finding some good bets, seeing what stands out. Man, Andrew Benintendi under 1.5 bases, I would totally take. Just on the sheer premise that, like, the White Sox have sucked. So, not a bet that I'm looking at right now, but don't hate it, if I'm being honest. Rowdy Tellez, that's an interesting one. So Tony Gallen is the starting pitcher of the Dodgers today, and he has unbelievable numbers against the Brewers. So I actually threw him into some DFS lineups. Don't feel great about it because, Tony Gallen, but I actually like it in terms of obviously his history against the Brewers. So we're looking at our favorite bets, player prop bets, doing some research, MLB. And we set the odds at minus 150. So we're looking for bets that are going to be giving us a good chance to put some money in our pocket without, throwing too much money down. Josh Naylor, over half a strikeout. I actually really like that. He's facing Joey Wentz. See how Josh Naylor has done. I want to look at Josh Naylor's stats, and not just against Joey Wentz, but how he's done against lefties. I want to see how Josh Naylor has done against left-handed pitching. So how has he done against Joey Wentz? The answer is he's never faced him. Okay, so he's never faced him. First time, that favors the pitcher. I like that. Let's take a look at his splits. Josh Naylor. So strikeouts home and away is about the same. I really should just look at overall stats. 24 strikeouts. Look at his game log. He didn't strike out yesterday, but he averages about a strikeout a game. Look at that. Wow. Okay, so in the month of May, yesterday was the only day he didn't strike out. Wow. Josh Naylor, over half a strikeout. That's a good play. I'll put that on the board. Josh Naylor, over half a strikeout. Will we get that at? Something really nice? Like minus 115? Let's do it, everybody. Minus 115. Josh Naylor, over half a strikeout. Again, we're just putting out some good bets right now. So make sure you guys are hitting that follow button. That way you know every time Butt Fumble Sports is live. And again, hit that like button. Once we get to 3,000 likes, we'll give out another best bet. We've been giving out some best bets now. For anyone who's watching on Instagram Live, here are the favorite bets that we have so far of the day. Cody Bellinger, over half a total base at minus 150. Over 1.5 total bases at plus 154. I like Anthony Davis at over 2.5 assists at minus 140. Julius Randle under 23.5 points at minus 135 or minus 140. Cedric Mullins over half a total base at minus 125. And Josh Naylor over half a strikeout at minus 115. These are some of the bets we're finding using our Outlier app. If you want to learn more about Outlier or check it out, DM us. We're more than happy to hit you up with a link, and that way you can explore it a little bit more. Cody, how do you feel about Cody Bellinger's strikeouts? Let's check that one out. Let's check out Cody Bellinger's, Dylan Cease. You said Dylan Cease strikeouts. I don't know where I got Cody Bellinger from. So let's check out Dylan Cease. So we're going to throw in Dylan Cease into our search, and let's look at strikeouts. Right now, the under 5.5. It doesn't have the stronger implied probability. It just has the stronger odds. The better probability is the over. Interesting. Over 5.5. Minus 145. So, Cody, that's where you can see the breakdown of strikeouts. 5.5, they like the over. Vegas, that is. At 6.5, that's where they like the under. So interesting. 5.5 is that cutoff point. What are you getting, Cody, as your strikeout total? Let us know. By the way, we looked into that Pirates game a little bit earlier. We really didn't like that game between the Pirates and the Rockies. That felt like a fade game. I think Mitch Keller's the better starting pitcher. But for a number of reasons, that game's just... I don't feel great about it, so I would avoid the Rockies-Pirates game. I'd fade that one. I wouldn't touch it. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Octavian, thanks for being a follower. Make sure you guys are part of the Butt Fumble Sports community. We put out a lot of content every day. There's a link in our bio. Hit the link in our bio. Takes you right to our website, buttfumblesports.com. Here you can see we put out blogs every single day. with DFS lineups, our trend plays of the day, as well as picks for our for the NBA games. So make sure you go to our website, buttfumblesports.com. Also, check out our store. Plenty of cool merchandise, including NFL, MLB, and NBA themed stuff, as well as a couple college basketball shirts as well. So make sure you go check out some of our content, check out some of our merchandise, like this LeBron James shirt for all you Laker fans. Go check out our website, buttfumblesports.com. The link is in our bio. Go check it out today. And I'm also being reminded by a member of our team, free shipping. Want to take advantage of that. So free shipping on everything that you buy. So make sure you take advantage of that. We just added that, free shipping. By the way, I am curious. I'm just going to do this as a quick roll call in our TikTok live chat and in our Instagram live chat. Let us know where you guys are watching from. I'm really curious to know where you guys are watching from. Where do you guys call home? Throw your location in the chat. Where are you guys coming from? I'm just curious to know, where are our fans? Who are some of the people? So we got New Jersey, Boss Lady coming from Jersey. Curious to know where you guys are watching from. Kansas, Cody in Kansas. Hope you're having a great day in Kansas, Cody. No way, we got someone watching in Hawaii. So we've got someone in Jersey and Hawaii watching at the same time. Octavian's in Miami. So we are covering it right now. We got the East Coast, the Southeast. We've got Hawaii. We've got the Midwest. So the Red Kingdom, home of the Chiefs. We've got a lot of people in here. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Hope you guys are having a fabulous day. We're here to help you out with your bets. Anyone else taking Heat -4.5? I went the other direction. I like the Knicks to cover tonight. I would buy the 1.5 if you're feeling a little wary of it, but Knicks +6 feels like the good play. They're going to bounce back. Thibodeau is a good coach. There's a lot of pride on this team. They're a physical team. They're aggressive. I don't expect them to struggle the way they did offensively before or like they did in Game 3. I expect a bounce-back game for the Knicks. I certainly like the Knicks to cover tonight. We're not quite to 3,000 likes yet. Once we get to 3,000 likes, I will give out another one of my favorite bets of the day. So guys, hit that like button. Get us up to 3,000 likes. That way I can hand out another one of my favorite player prop bets of the day. Hit that like button. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. So cool to see where you guys are broadcasting from, where you guys are watching from. So freaking cool. So Cody in Kansas was asking, Dylan has a great strikeout record against the Royals. I think he can get 7 or 8 strikeouts. Cody, I agree with you. The question I was asking earlier is, where are you getting the strikeout total? What I'm saying is if you get it at over 5.5, I like it. Over 6.5 gets a little dicey. I do think you're right. I think 7, 8 strikeouts is a good idea. But I am a little bit wary of it, just a little bit. So make sure you're getting it at 5.5. I feel like that's the better play. And again, over 5.5 at -140 isn't a bad odds. Yeah, Cody, 5.5, great. Love it. And again, -140, I feel like is a good bet on its own. You could parlay it with some other things, but I would have it as its own individual bet as well. Because -145, those are pretty good odds. And by the way, I do expect those to change. So smart that you're locking them in now. If I were the public, I'd probably put the money down on Cease over 5.5 strikeouts. So get it while you can. Obviously, the closer we get to first pitch, the likelihood that people throw money down, the greater. Appreciate all of you guys joining us. Make sure you hit that follow button. That way you know every time we're live. Butt Fumble Sports is going to have a daily sports betting show every single day. You don't know when it is, though. Is it 11 a.m.? Is it 1 p.m.? Could be either, depending on the MLB games that day. So make sure you're following us. That way you know every time we're live. And again, once we hit 3,000 likes, we will give out another one of our favorite prop bets of the day. So make sure you're hitting that like button. We looked into Dylan Cease and his total strikeouts for Cody. If you guys have questions about which bets you like to make, definitely check it out. Okay, you got Cease. BJ, you got Cease 5.5 at -155. This is one of the reasons I'm touting this Outlier app. That's what you see on your screen right now if you're watching on TikTok Live or on YouTube. One of the reasons I love using Outlier is I can see which sports books give out the best odds So here's an example. Dylan Cease, I can see which sports books give out the best odds. So Caesars minus 170, that's not where I want to throw my money down. I want to put it down on FanDuel, minus 149. BetMGM, minus 145. That's one of the reasons I like this app. You not only find trends or find the data, you also know the best sports books, so the comparison shopping feature, really, really helpful. Okay, Jake Irvin, over 3.5 strikeouts. Let's check out that player prop bet. We're going to answer that question right now. The question is Jake Irvin, over 3.5 strikeouts. We're going to go to the prop bet finder, and we're going to look up Irvin. Jake Irvin, and we're going to look up strikeouts. So here we are, guys. You can see it on the screen. Jake Irvin, over 3.5 strikeouts. Okay, the over has a stronger implied probability. I definitely look at that. I love that implied probability. When that's above like a 55%, right now it's at 57%, really like that. So over 3.5 strikeouts, you're getting that at minus 135 on DraftKings, minus 137 on FanDuel. Only had the one start, 3 strikeouts. Not a lot of data behind it. The only reason I'm not crazy about it is, Eric, is because the lack of data behind it is one of the reasons. So, Cali, Jake Irvin, over 3.5 strikeouts. The implied probability says yes, it's a good bet, but I'm not crazy about it, and the reason for that is because with a rookie, you really don't know what you're going to get. So if you wanted to go off any data, I would say the over is the better play, but me personally, I'm not putting any money down. Chase, what's that website or app? It's Outlier. Outlier, it's a great sports betting app. If you want to learn more about it, DM us on Instagram or on TikTok or on Twitter. We will send you a link to Outlier. So DM us. We'll hit you up with the link to the app, and that way you guys can get connected. BJ, you're on DraftKings and Bet Rivers. Again, one of the reasons I like this app is because, again, you can comparison shop. They don't have Bet Rivers, but they have FanDuel, DraftKings, Caesars, BetMGM. So you can always find the best bet, given what you want to follow the best trend, and then you want to find the best trend at the best odds. How do we feel about Diamondbacks on the money line? Let's check that one out. Diamondbacks on the money line. I go to games here. MLB. Diamondbacks on the money line. Looking at the Marlins, one of the reasons we like the money line play today for the Arizona Diamondbacks, Zach Gallen's on the mound. Zach Gallen has not allowed a run this year to the Miami Marlins. He faced them already, 6.2 innings pitched, 9 strikeouts, but you just see his stats overall this season. Oops, you don't, because I haven't shifted it over. You just see Zach Gallen is off to a phenomenal start this year, pitching incredibly well. He's not facing a great lineup today for so many reasons. I like the Arizona Diamondbacks today, but keep your eye on the under. Braxton Garrett, he had a good outing against the Arizona Diamondbacks last time. I could see both teams going under their run total. So for a couple of reasons, I would consider the under in today's game, but I like the Arizona Diamondbacks on the money line. Can you look at Rays and Cubs money line? We look at the Rays a little bit earlier. We were a little bit suspect of them, but I will dive into those, Timbo, and we will definitely look into it. So we were looking at, you asked about the Rays and the Cubs. Rays and the Cubs are the two games we're going to look at now for Timbo. The Rays, minus 175 on the money line. Obviously, they've been red hot. There's a trend here that I'm going to share, but it's a little jaded. The Rays are 34-14 versus the Orioles over the last 3 years. But 2 of those years, the Orioles sucked. So that's not a great trend because the sample size is taken from a time when the Orioles weren't as good as they are now. So for a number of reasons, I wouldn't go crazy about that stat. What I like more in this game, and the reason if I were to bet the money line, I would take the Rays, is the starting pitchers. Kyle Gibson isn't a terrible starting pitcher, but Shane McClanahan is one of the best starting pitchers in the American League. So for so many reasons, I have to, he's 6-0, 2.02 ERA, averaging 11 strikeouts per 9. So many reasons why you got to like the you got to like the Rays on a money line play today. As for the run line, we talked about this earlier. I actually might like the Orioles on the run line. given their opportunity to actually score some runs. I think it actually the over could hit, but I do like the Rays on the money line today. Appreciate those who just followed. Make sure you're following us as well. That way you know every time we're live. Butt Fumble Sports is building a great community of sports fans who like to bet on sports, like to play fantasy sports, and just like to rant about sports. So make sure you're joining us. Make sure you follow Butt Fumble Sports. We answered some of your questions. Want to make sure I didn't miss any. Okay, I gotta... Anytime someone puts a joke in the chat, I'm also going to read that because I'm all here for jokes. D. Jonesy with a great joke. My roommates suspect I'm stealing their kitchen utensils, but that's a risk I'm willing to take. When I am a dad, when I have kids, I will use that joke because that is a dad joke. Oh, sorry, Timbo. Sorry, got too caught up on the jokes. Forgot about the Cubs. Let's check out the Cubs. So, Cubs on the money line. One of the reasons we talked about this game earlier is Miles Mikolas, the starting pitcher of the Cardinals, does not have good stats against the hitters in the Cubs lineup. Bellinger is one of the hitters who has a good history against him. One of the reasons I like Bellinger over total bases. But another thing, we look into the starting pitchers of this one, and the Cubs definitely have a reason to feel optimistic because Marcus Stroman has been a stud to start the year. Don't look at the 2-2 record. Look at the 2.18 ERA. Guy has come out of the box hot, pitching really, really well. Here's another trend that we like. I'll shift over so you guys can see it. Cardinals 1-4 on the road as an underdog in their last 5 games. The Cardinals are in struggle mode. I mean, we haven't seen a St. Louis Cardinals team struggle like this in my lifetime, and I'm in my early 30s. So the Cardinals are a different team. A lot of people are losing money right now on the St. Louis Cardinals day in, day out because they're looking at the brand name and they're not looking at the trends. The trends are telling you something. The trends are telling you, go with the Cubs in this game. The Cubs have the better starting pitcher. The Cubs have been hotter. The Cardinals are really struggling, and it's not like the Cardinals get a day off to maybe regroup. They just struggled in their last series. They come right into a game against the Cubs. They're on the road. For a number of reasons, I like the Cubs on the money line in that one. Timbo asked about that. Timbo D, you asked about that game. So you asked about the Rays and the Cubs. I like both teams on the money line. I'm always going to say, guys, be careful about parlays. I have a lot of friends who are in Vegas, who work in Vegas at sports books. One thing they tell me is Vegas makes more money on parlays than anything else. So be really careful about parlays. If you're going to do it, a 2-game parlay is okay, but make sure that you're actually placing individual bets as well. So guys, make sure when you place those individual bets, if you're going to parlay it, just make sure you've leveraged your money correctly or allocated your money correctly. But Timbo, I like the Cubs on the money line for a number of reasons. One other note though, and I mentioned this earlier, there's a website I use to look at the weather for each MLB game because weather plays a factor. When it comes to hitters, when it comes to defense, it plays a factor. The Cubs game, Cardinals-Cubs, Wrigley Field, there's going to be weather. The wind is blowing in. When it comes to home runs have a negative 27% chance of happening in that game today. That is the highest of any game today other than the Giants game. So the second highest negative home run percentage is in the Cardinals-Cubs game. When it comes to runs scored, that has the highest negative percentage based off of weather. I know I'm throwing something at you that may not make a lot of sense. I may not be wording it correctly. But based off of the weather, the under is a great play in the Cubs-Cardinals game. One more time. Based off of the weather, home runs have a 27% likelihood of are less likely to happen, and the runs are 28% less likely to happen. So just based off of the weather, I would highly recommend taking the under in the Cubs-Cardinals game. Hey Zeus, I don't know if I'm on mute. That might just be you. Hope you rejoin and jump back in. Appreciate all of you guys who are joining us and following us. As you can tell, we love talking sports, love talking sports betting, love diving into each and every game. So if you guys have questions, we have answers. Make sure you throw your comments in the chat. We're here for all of it. Hey Zeus, glad you got us now. Appreciate all you guys being with us. Make sure you hit that like button. Once we get up to 3,000 likes, we will give out another favorite bet of the day. So hit that like button. Nathan, that's really interesting. So Michaelis allows about a home run just about every game he starts. So what's interesting about that is a hot trend. The weather says home runs aren't going to be nearly as prevalent today. So kind of interesting. One player I have my eye on, Nathan, is Cody Bellinger. He's got really good stats against Miles Michaelis, however you pronounce it. So he's one hitter. I could actually see him hitting a home run. But I'm not crazy about home runs in that game, Nathan. So be wary. The weather is going to impact that. Okay, we just hit 3,000 likes because you guys are freaking awesome. You guys are the best audience, best fans in the world. Appreciate all of you guys being with us. Because we hit 3,000 likes, I want to give out one of my favorite bets. Nathan, the wind is blowing in. Wind is blowing in. The weather says the likelihood of a home run is negative 27%. The likelihood of a home run is down negative 27%. So for a lot of reasons, not a home run day at Wrigleyville. But given what you said about Michaelis, could still happen, just not as likely. Anyways, I promised a favorite bet once we hit 3,000 likes. We have done that. So here are the best, our favorite bets so far of the day. Want to make sure you guys see that up on the screen. If you're watching on TikTok Live or on YouTube, you can see it. If you're watching on Instagram Live, so far our favorite bets of the day based off the research that we've done. Cody Bellinger, over half a total base. I'm getting that at minus 150. You could also get over 1.5 at plus 154. I really like that one. Another one, Anthony Davis, over 2.5 assists. Minus 140. That's Anthony Davis over 2.5 assists. You can get that at minus 140. Another one I like. Julius Randle under 23.5 points. You can get that at minus 135. Cedric Mullins over half a total base. Minus 125. He's been red hot of late, and he has great stats against Shane McClanahan, the starting pitcher of the Rays. Josh Naylor. Josh Naylor has never faced Joey Wentz, the starting pitcher of the Tigers. But he's averaging about a strikeout a game. Lefty-lefty matchup. A lot of reasons to like the over half a strikeout for Josh Naylor. I'm getting that at minus 115. Those have been our favorite bets so far. But because we had 3,000 likes, I got to add another one to the list. Here's one that I like. Has to do with basketball tonight. Steph Curry. Over 4.5 3-pointers. Obviously not as crazy a bet for some of you guys. I'm getting at minus 145. But Steph Curry over 4.5 3-pointers made at minus 145. Curry has exceeded 4.5 3-pointers in 11 of his last 16 playoff games. He didn't shoot as well last game. The Warriors just weren't as good offensively last game. I think the Warriors are going to bounce back tonight. I like the Warriors in tonight's game. I think their offense is going to emerge. And who's going to be the focal point? Steph Curry. I like Steph Curry over 4.5 3-pointers tonight. That's the bet I'm making for 3,000 likes that we just got on TikTok Live. So appreciate you guys. If we can, let's see if we can get to 4,000 likes. Hit that like button. I will give out another player prop bet, one of my favorites of the day. Hit that like button. Get us up to 4,000 likes, and we will give out another favorite player prop bet of the day. By the way, yeah, I should have just added this from the start. We will do this. We'll add the ballpark pal. Guys, this is the website I like to use for weather. So now I just got reminded I can just show you guys on the screen. So here you see ballparkpal.com. I go to the park factors. Here's what I was talking about earlier. So Nathan, you see here on the screen, hard to kind of see here, but the negative 33% is on home runs, plus 10 is on doubles and triples, minus 13 is on singles, and negative 20 is on overall runs. So you just see here, the only other game where home runs have a worse chance is in the Washington Nationals San Francisco Giants game, but no game is a stronger underplay based off of the weather than this Cubs-Cardinals game. By the way, PNC, they're saying the runs are likely to happen. Rockies, Pirates, and White Sox, Royals, both those games, because of the weather, have a plus run probability. So, things to look at. Appreciate all of you guys hitting that like button. We got to 4,000 likes already. Are you guys freaking awesome or what? Do we have the best fans in all of TikTok Live, Instagram Live, and YouTube Live? The answer is freaking yes. I would curse, but I don't know if that actually has a negative effect on my stream, so that's the only reason I'm saying frickin' like a loser. But that said, you guys are awesome. Appreciate you guys hitting that like button, getting us up to 4,000 likes. You guys are awesome. Just appreciate the love, appreciate the support. But I owe you. I promised a bet. I got to cash. I got to give it. So one more time, I'm going to throw up our favorite bets of the day so far. These are the bets we like so far. We handed out a few, just in case you didn't know them. Steph Curry was the last one we gave out, over 4.5 3-pointers. We like that one. Josh Naylor, over strikeouts. So a few of the bets we like, but I promised another one. This one has to do with the Arizona Diamondbacks game. The Arizona Diamondbacks game. The Diamondbacks, just to jump out real quick, the Diamondbacks are facing the Marlins today. Diamondbacks are facing the Marlins. There you can see Diamondbacks Marlins, the odds for that one. But we're focused on one of our favorite player prop bets that comes from that game, and that's Zach Gallen. Zach Gallen is on the bump. He has been amazing of late. He has been an absolute stud. Zach Gallen has exceeded 6.5 strikeouts in 6 of his last 7 games at home. One more time, Zach Gallen, starting pitcher for the Diamondbacks today, has exceeded 6.5 strikeouts in 6 of his last 7 games at home this year. Or 6 of his last 7 games overall. So, Zach Gallen, starting pitcher of the Arizona Diamondbacks, we like the over 6.5 strikeouts. And we're getting that at minus 112. And one of the reasons I love this bet is that minus 112. As you can see, that's probably our best bet of the day in terms of the odds. I don't think we're going to get closer to that. Obviously, Cody Bellinger over 1.5, you can get a plus money. But Zach Gallen, over 6.5 strikeouts. He's facing the Miami Marlins. He's at home. Really good bet that I like. Cody got Gallen at 5.5. I like that as well. I'm sure the odds probably aren't as good, probably closer to like minus 140. But Cody, Zach Gallen at over 6.5 strikeouts. I really like that bet. Definitely one that I like. Okay, we're getting a couple questions in from the TikTok Live comment section, so I want to make sure we answer those. Guys, make sure you keep hitting that like button. Once we get up to 5,000 likes, we'll keep doing this. You guys keep being a great collection of likers and followers and fans. I'll keep giving out best bets. But I do want to answer Boss Lady's question. Boss Lady Murr is asking Jalen Brunson 8+ rebounds. That seems way too high, but we'll check it out really quick. Let's go to our player prop bet, our prop finder. Let's go to Jalen Brunson. So really quick, rebounds 8.5. Like, where are you getting 8.5? Okay, sportsbooks aren't even putting out 8.5. So Boss Lady, I don't know where you found Jalen Brunson at 8+ rebounds, but the sportsbook, they're not even offering it. The odds are like, they don't even want it. The plus money, not even worth it. So Jalen Brunson rebounds isn't something we're looking at. Nope. Cody, I'm using the Sleeper betting app. He's actually projected under the app. Oh, interesting. He's projected under. Man, I'm surprised going up against the Miami Marlins. Boss Lady, yeah, just correct yourself. I'm a little curious. Boss Lady got Zach Gallen at plus some money. First of all, love that. Love that play. Julius Randle, there we go. Okay, yeah, Jalen Brunson. I'm like, eight rebounds. What the hell is happening? Okay, let's check it out. Now that I understand what your question is, let's do that instead. Let's check out Julius Randle. Julius Randle. We're gonna look at Julius Randle right now. We're looking at his player prop bets. We're gonna look at his rebounds. Okay, 8.5 rebounds. Interesting. Under the implied probability, 43%. Over 59%. So, looking at the trends, Here you can see over the last 10 games, he's hit it back-to-back games now. Funny enough, he hasn't been a great scorer, but he's been better on the rebounds. So here we're looking over his last 10. Now we look over his last 20. Less relevant, though. Really, I care more about the playoffs. He had that stretch in the Cleveland series where he wasn't nearly as good when it came to rebounds. So, very interesting. By the way, I feel like this app is missing a game here. I feel like it's missing a Heat. Oh, no, that's because he was injured. It's because he was injured. He missed that game. So that's why. So in the 2 games he's played, he's averaging above the 8.5. So, Boss Lady, I do like Julius Randle over 8 rebounds. I do like that play. The trends certainly suggest that's going to be a decent play. I also just think he didn't have a good game, too. So I think he's going to be more engaged. I think because of that, he'll be more at the rim. I think when Julius Randle plays well, he actually, plays like a big man. I think he takes way too many jump shots. So for me, it's really important. Julius Randle, go be physical. Go into the paint. Go to the box. Go body up Bam Adebayo. Go body up some of the Heat don't have that many bodies. Julius Randle, you're going up against Kevin Love. Go body him up. Go take him on. I also think that's not only going to get him points, but going to get him rebounds. That said, I like Julius Randle under his total points, but I do like the rebounds, Boss Lady. I like it. Matthew asks, Heat and Lakers on the money line. I don't like the Lakers on the money line tonight. Now, I know I'm an outlier here. No pun intended with the Outlier app. But we looked at the referees tonight. Scott Foster is the referee for tonight's Lakers-Warriors game. His stats favor the Lakers by a ton. First of all, it was something like the Warriors had a 1-3 record this year with Foster as the lead ref, and the Lakers were 4-1. I believe that was the records. But it was more about the free throw attempt differential. The Warriors had like a -13 free throw attempt differential, where the Lakers were a +11 free throw attempts. So you have to believe a lot of fouls could go the way of the Lakers. I like the Warriors on the money line tonight, but the referee certainly suggests I could be on the wrong. So you may want to fade me on that one. Okay, KY is asking, loving this app. What's the app? It's called Outlier. If you guys want to check it out, first of all, you could just go look it up. But if you want to get a free 7-day trial, hit us up on our DMs on TikTok Live, Instagram Live, or on YouTube. I will send you a link to Outlier that allows for a 7-day free trial. That way you guys can check it out. So make sure you guys, if you like this sports betting app, Outlier, I think it's the best sports betting app out there. But make sure you guys hit us up, and that way we can send you guys the link, and you guys can check it out for 7 days, see if you guys like it. Again, want to give a big shout out to all of you. Appreciate you guys joining us and following us. You guys have been absolutely awesome, so really appreciate all the love. By the way, want to just mention this. For a lot of you guys, you're like me. You're on the East Coast, and you're going to be staying up late to follow those late games, whether it's baseball, NBA, or NHL. I'm not a coffee drinker. I wasn't in college. I'm not now. I don't want to be jittery. I don't want to be drinking coffee at all hours of the day, especially when I have to wake up the next morning and get ready for these shows. I don't want to come here and be all jittery. So what I will say is I'm a big 5-Hour Energy drinker. If you guys haven't tried 5-Hour Energy in a while, you guys should try it. I'm not a coffee guy, but because I love sports betting, I love fantasy sports, and I'm on the East Coast, I have to stay up for late games. I'm a 5-Hour Energy guy, so if you love watching late games on the West Coast, but you don't like drinking coffee, 5-Hour Energy, that's the way Butt Fumble Sports stays alert and keeps up to date with all of our bets as we stay up every single night. By the way, if you guys want to check out our content, you guys can go to our website, buttfumblesports.com. Every single day we put out content, a DFS lineup, trend plays, those are our favorite bets of the day based off of trends, and of course our NBA or NHL game picks. So go to our website, Butt Fumble Sports. You can check out our blogs. You can also check out our merchandise. I will admit, our logo's a little cheeky, but we have a lot of other merchandise. Mr. Irrelevant shirt, if you're a 49ers fan. If you love the Lakers, you can go check out our LeBron James shirt. LeBron James crowned with his king, or the king with his crown, rather. So check out our website, buttfumblesports.com. You can check out the link in our bio. The link's in our bio for TikTok Live. Hit that link, takes you right to our website. Appreciate all of you guys joining us, and appreciate the user who just shared the live, user 7796. Appreciate you sharing Butt Fumble Sports with others. We are here for sports fans, trying to make you smarter, help you win money. Do this research so you don't have to. Make sure you share it with friends, family, coworkers, all the other sports fans that you know in your life. So make sure you hit us up. We want to help Timbo out. Timbo D, can you look at the Yankees on the money line? First of all, I can. I will say this. I love the Yankees on the money line today. Before we even jump into the stats, I love the Yankees on the money line today because, one, Nestor Cortez is on the mound. He is a great pitcher for the Yankees when it comes to getting them wins. When the Yankees come off a loss, Nestor Cortez is one of the best pitchers over the last 2 years at getting a win after a Yankees loss. So love Nestor Cortez today. Second of all, they're facing the Oakland Athletics, who are just a bad team this year. They're just bad. Yankees are really desperate for a win. So Timbo, without looking at the stats and more just going off of the narrative, the Yankees are the better play. However, let's look at the stats. Okay, one thing we really like, a hot trend, the Athletics are 9-21 on the road off a loss in their last 30 games. They're just a bad team. Like, the A's are just a bad baseball team. They haven't done a lot of winning, and it feels like the losing is compounding itself. So for a number of reasons, the fact they're coming off a loss yesterday to the Royals is reason to believe that'll continue. They've won 2 of their last 3 games. The likelihood that they lose is pretty high. Again, Nestor Cortez is also, we love Nestor Cortez on the bump. Again, diving a little bit deeper, you see Cortez, his ERA is a little bit high so far this year. I expect that to go down, get closer to 3.80. But JP Sears, 5 ERA. And I expect that to be where it is. That's a 5 ERA. He's lost both of his starts. Cortez, I feel like he'll bring that down. One guy I have on my, I'm keeping an eye on tonight is Harrison Bader. Harrison Bader has been red hot since he came off the IL. Facing a lefty, so he's going to be in the lineup. I like the lefty-righty matchup with Harrison Bader against JP Sears. So keep your eye on Harrison Bader for DFS or for some bets tonight. Okay, Timbo, I got Yankees on the money line parlayed with Randy Arozarena getting a hit. Randy Arozarena getting a hit. Let's take a look at, he's facing, well, he's facing Kyle Gibson. So I want to look up Kyle Gibson versus Randy Arozarena stats. I love looking up pitcher-hitter matchup stats. Arozarena, 2 for 5, 400 batting average. Okay, not a terrible play. So Randy Arozarena to get a hit and Yankees on the money line. Timbo, I love that parlay. I'm not a big parlay guy. Like I mentioned, you want to be really wary because Vegas makes a ton of money off its parlays. But that said, I like that parlay. That's Yankees on the money line and Randy Arozarena on to get a hit. Love that parlay. Speaking of you guys being freaking awesome, we just hit 5,000 likes because the Butt Fumble Sports fan base is better than anything else out there. Just want to do a big shout out. I want to do a best bet. So our next best bet that we're putting out there is another NBA best bet. So guys, here are the best bets that we've put out there so far during our show today. By the way, we're about an hour and 50 minutes into our show. We're going to do 2 hours live every single day. So if you missed most of our show today, don't worry. We're back tomorrow. Make sure you follow us. That way you never miss a show. But Butt Fumble Sports is going to be live every single day. Here are our favorite picks of the day so far based off our research. But because we just hit 5,000 likes, we're going to add another favorite bet to this list. So guys, the next one we're going to do is another NBA one. Another NBA bet. And this one I feel like is easy money. I hate putting it that way because obviously I don't want to over tout something, but I'm talking like put the money in your pocket right now kind of bet. So guys, appreciate you guys hitting that like button, getting us up to 5,000 likes because I love this bet. And what is it? LeBron James. That's right. LeBron James, not points, assists. Assists. How many? We're going over 5.5. Over 5.5 assists for LeBron James. We're getting that at minus 135. Let me explain. LeBron James has exceeded 5.5 assists in 17 of his last 20 games at home. So 17 out of his last 20 games, LeBron has gone over 5.5 assists. I bet this same bet in game 3 and it cashed within the second quarter. He had like 5 assists in the first quarter, got his 6th assist in the second. This cashed so quickly. LeBron James is a facilitator. What makes him a great player is he's not trying to score 50 points every game. He'd rather score 30 and assist for 8, 10 dimes. So for a number of reasons, I like LeBron James over 5.5 assists. This is a great play. We'll dive a little deeper into it using Outlier. Again, if you guys want a great sports betting app, Outlier is, I believe, the best sports betting app around for research and comparison shopping with the other sports books. So great sports betting app. We're looking at assists. LeBron James, total assists, over total assists. The under here has an implied probability of 47%. So over 5.5, implied probability of 57%. You can get that at minus 135 on FanDuel. Diving a little bit deeper into it, I mentioned the stat just now. You can see it. In case you didn't hear it, you can see it. Has exceeded that in 17 of his last 20 home games. That's LeBron James over 5.5 assists. Really, really strong play. Really strong play. Cody asks, would you pair LeBron James over half points with it? Free square on underdog I want to use. Yeah, go for it. Absolutely, Cody. Absolutely. Over half a point plus the 5.5 assists. Absolutely, Cody. Love it. Will, thank you so much for sharing the live, letting others know about Butt Fumble Sports. Really appreciate that, Will. Guys, as you can see, this is a great sports betting app, Outlier. If you want to learn more about it, get a free 7-day trial. DM us on Instagram, Butt Fumble Sports, or on TikTok, Butt Fumble Sports. DM us. I'll send you a link to Outlier. You get a free 7-day trial. It is the best tool. I get all of this data. I get all of this information. I get strong trends. I get line movement. I get the data. But I also get the comparison shopping. So here, if I want LeBron James over 5.5 assists at the best odds, I know which sports book's offering it at the best odds. Screw BetMGM. I'm going with FanDuel because I'm getting it at minus 140, or I'm going at Caesars at minus 139. So that's why I love this sports betting app. Outlier is the best sports betting app. Guys, you got to check it out. Okay, we're going to finish the show. We got a random one for you. We're coming to the end of our show. We've done about 2 hours live, but we've got a question. Why you hate CJ Stroud Rookie of the Year chances? Why do I hate it? Because I don't feel like the Texans are that good a team for him to succeed. I don't feel like he's in the kind of position that Justin Fields was last year to be so dynamic, to get that kind of attention. I also think there are plenty of other rookies who just got drafted who could have monster years. So for a number of reasons, Rookie of the Year, CJ Stroud isn't the best play. Bryce Young might be a decent play, but he's not even the starter right now. Andy Dalton supposedly is. But when it comes to Rookie of the Year plays, look towards running backs, look towards wide receivers. So Jackson Smith-Njigba could be a great Rookie of the Year bet if you're looking in the NFL. First of all, because he's a wide receiver, he's probably not getting the worse odds. He's getting better odds because he's not a quarterback. But he's going to be involved in that offense. If he has a breakout year, hard for him not to be Rookie of the Year. Appreciate all of you guys joining us across all of our platforms. TikTok Live, YouTube, Instagram Live. This was our first time on Instagram Live. I want to give a big shout out to everyone who watched us on IG Live. Again, this was our first time ever doing that. So appreciate all of you guys who just watched. Appreciate Lope jumping on. Appreciate Sweet Pete. Appreciate all of you guys watching on IG. Of course, the community that we have on TikTok is just incredible. You guys are awesome. Make sure you check out our videos. We put out rant videos and game pick videos almost every single day. And also, as I mentioned before, check out our website. There's a link in our bio on TikTok. Takes you right to our website, buttfumblesports.com. You can get our daily fantasy lineup every day, our favorite baseball bets of the day, our picks for the NBA games, and of course, you can go to our merchandise store and get some of our merchandise, including a Call Your Shot Babe Ruth shirt, or a LeBron James with a crown shirt. So guys, make sure you go to our website, buttfumblesports.com, check out our blogs, check out our merchandise, and of course, for all of you watching, make sure you follow us. Hit that follow button. That way you know every single time we're live. We're going to be live now every day. We're going to do at least an hour, 2 hours every single day. So make sure you're following us. That way you know every time we're on Instagram Live, TikTok Live, and on YouTube. Big shout out to everybody here. You guys are absolutely amazing. Again, the link is in our bio. You can check out all of our content, all of our platforms. If you want more of our picks, more of our content, you can always DM us. You can always engage with us when we're off the air. We have now done 2 hours of talking sports, talking betting. We just love talking with you guys, but we got to go do our research. We got to put our bets in. We've got other stuff to do. So unfortunately, we got to end our show for the day. But again, I just want to give a big shout out. You guys have been awesome. For everyone who's been watching, love the support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Without you, we're nothing. So we appreciate the support you guys show us. Appreciate the love. Make sure you're following us. That way you can join us tomorrow when we're live and you don't miss another opportunity to cash in on our favorite bets. Appreciate you guys. Big shout out to Bleece. Check him out at Bleece NFT on TikTok, Instagram. Bleece, if I'm wrong, let him know. But Bleece does a wonderful job behind the scenes helping us out with our production. So Bleece, big shout out to you. Couldn't do it without you. Everyone, thank you for watching. We will see you tomorrow. And tomorrow's show is at 11 a.m. That's right, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. We've got day baseball tomorrow, so we've got a day show tomorrow, a morning show. 11 a.m. is when we're going to be on TikTok Live. So guys, TikTok Live, Instagram Live, and YouTube. 11 a.m. that's on Wednesday. We're wrong. Tomorrow it's 1 p.m. 1 p.m. on Tuesday. What am I talking about? 1 p.m. tomorrow. 1 p.m. tomorrow on TikTok Live.